Hello, my ladies and pretty gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of Look What's Happening in the Spirit Realm with yours truly, Light. Today, I'm hearing that there is a brotherly, almost an older brother or a spiritual representation of an older brother energy around you that's beginning to awaken, and they may not have a full understanding of what they're awakening to, but they're almost cruising off of your clarity. That's what I'm getting. And yeah, this is them trusting the current that they can't quite fully see, but they see it through you. This is a very layered message, so stick with me. Whoever this person is, they seem to be currently working or fighting in secret through certain struggles that they've had on their own terms. And these struggles were a belief that they weren't necessarily needed, or they didn't need to be present in a way that Spirit was calling to them to be present at a time that they were being called. And they believed that they could use mere logic, their understanding, whether it is charm or even just knowledge per se, to overcome a specific chapter that Spirit was tying them to you to overcome. And this isn't like a case of needing each other in that way, but this person is going through what I would call a dry initiation. And the way Spirit disclosed this to me is this initiation is taking place without their counterpart, without their divine counterpart. And it's even taking place because this is someone who is trying to force their position. They're trying to prove to themselves, whether it be out of being cocky or just wanting to be independent from somebody else. They're trying to prove to themselves that they don't need their counterpart, the divine feminine energy, male or female, to overcome this process that is supposed to be not just mental integration, but spiritual. So they're going through the process of something, but without the essence of it, without the spiritual current behind it, the pretty much the mechanics of it. That's what this person is going through. And one thing that is keeping them down this path almost stubbornly is the fact that they didn't quite see somebody around you at a time that they were encountering them. And this is someone who, for some reason, whether it is in the family member, especially if this is a brother figure, but this is someone who sees themselves as a brother, like as somebody who is almost like older than you, or someone who sees themselves as more logical or more oriented to protection than to initiation and risk of initiation. So the way they're trying to weave this path, this person, is by reflecting off of someone in your life whom only now, they're beginning to understand had this resistance towards you and your spiritually aligned path. And for some of you, this could be a maternal figure or a partner of yours that was attached to you. And I'm going to tell you the very eerie part of this. This person who was attached to you, before I move forward, I am not Light Shield Tarot. I am not Light Shield Tarot. There is a TikTok impersonator who goes by Light Shield Tarot, Taro spelled. They pretend to be me and they sell products to people while completely impersonating me. They do not give any credit. They quite literally lift my YouTube videos from my YouTube channel and they post it on their page as if they're me. So that's not me. So if you see a little marker here saying light, this is because I'm trying to protect the integrity of my content and my image from being possessed and impersonated. That is not me. Moving forward, whoever this person is, as I mentioned, this brotherly figure is going through a dry initiation, and this is why they're there in that specific path. And whoever this person is, this person who didn't want you to go through this like spiritual blossoming, this unveiling of a sort, this is someone who blames you. And this is an intimate partner for some of you. Regardless of who this is someone who blames you for having been stuck in a specific place in their life. Because before you came into their life, they believed that they were getting better as a person. They believed that they were trying to heal themselves and some toxic traits that they had, that they felt like the person before you or even their family or even life circumstances was putting them in at odds with this personality trait of theirs. And they had to deal with it, whether it be being edged out of work or being passed up on opportunities. They were constantly being bombarded by these nudges from spirit to get rid of this personality trait of theirs, to be better. But what happened is when they came in contact with you, and I feel like for a lot of you, this is a stage in your life where you had some lessons to learn. So this could be a past timeline. But if you are still in it, this is for you in this current timeline. They blame you for opening up a portal with your intimacy. And this could be sexual or psychological, psychic intimacy, that they felt like they were beginning to doubt their reasoning behind having to change, because that change was already very difficult for them. I am not Light Shield Tarot. That change was very difficult for them. And so they had to be aware of themselves as they were with you in a relationship. Like, you may have been loving them, but you were loving them from a place of wanting to love them the way that they were. And they were conflicted by that. Like, the way that I am is clearly not serving me, but this person is loving me regardless. And so they misinterpreted that unconditional love as allowance to go down this path. So this is why they blame you for opening a portal where they felt like they were stuck in an imbalance. They were stuck, unable to fix their local relationships with people, as well as eventually having disappointed you or having disappointed the connection between you because they couldn't fathom unconditional love as we know it as human beings, as far as we could know it. And so this person, this brotherly figure, or somebody who sees themselves as a protector of a sort in your life, this is someone now who is really beginning to understand that they can't move forward in this path without you involved in it. I'm not Light Shield Tarot. They need you to step forward and enter this path with them, but they don't want to accept that. And this is the reason why this path that's geared, like this grinding path that's taking place, is because of this interaction, this space, whether it be psychically charged or physically interacted with. And by that, this is what I mean. There's a lot of noise in this person's spirit, even though they understand that something in their life is missing, because for a lot of you, they may have gained a lot of wisdom and insight, but for some reason, it's not charging for them. And this is where you come in, especially if this is a twin flame situation. This is where you come in, where you are almost like a psychic charge. You carry the raw current that is almost like a jigsaw puzzle that fits into what this person has tried to wield through mere insight and intellect. So they're a grounded version of what you possess, which is insight. And for a lot of you, this person has been secretly basing their understanding of the people around them through what you say and do. They have been far away from you, but they haven't been far at all. They've been doing and moving through the insight, the current that you give them, but they didn't honor that current because they think they have to come and bow to you, to the person that has opened portals in certain people's lives that still blame you for being a bad person. But they don't understand the person that they have to reach out to or understand or be a part of is the person who transpired these connections or transpired beyond these connections and moved on from these connections with the insight that you have. So this is a very literal person who needs to step out of being literal and own up to the fact that you've already charged their field and they've been moving through the insights that they've gained from you through the connection either spiritually with you or actually physically watching you, especially if you're a content creator, right? I'm not Light Shield Tarot. I am not Light Shield Tarot. They've been charging themselves already through you. And they are almost like, they're feeling like they have to step into a battle that had already started long before them. A battle that they're now unable to move past. They've reached that critical mass. They've reached critical mass or maximum saturation as far as they can go. So they're having to own up now. They're having to dilute that saturation, dilute it by owning up to the fact that whether they like to admit it or not, they weren't just following you based on their logic and understanding. They were following you because something in their spirit was charging through you. And if you're resonating with this in a very negative way, where this is someone who is vampirically connected to you, this is not this person. This is the other person that believes that you've made them a bad person, that you've allowed them to sink into the depths of their dark psyche because you accepted them the way that they were, right? So distinguish these energies. I'm not Light Shield Tarot. This person, however, is like, they're different because there was an egoic element about them. I'm going to be honest. There was an egoic element about them that didn't quite trust your stability when it comes to the esoteric knowledge that you have or the understanding that you've gained. They didn't quite see it as stable. They thought it was you trying to wield it as a way to overcome certain difficulties, or who doesn't do that? Or simply to wield some type of power and influence. But how come they're thinking that way, yet they're still coming through either in dreams or in this psychic shared space to consult with you? How come? So this is someone who's now acknowledging the fact that they like to use you when they feel convenient to use you, while still remaining detached enough to claim individuality or independence from your essence. They're having to come to an understanding here because they're standing in a paradox that's not supposed to be. They're trying to make it a paradox, but it's not. It's not a paradox. Not really. So what Spirit is telling this person is that they're having to step out of the influence or the sight that they've gained through this person who, whether it is a family member, if this is actual brother for you, but it's not. For a lot of you, it's a spiritual figure. It's not a brother per se. It's more like we say brother and sister for religious sayings. It's kind of like that. So what's going on is that they've been an observer for a very long time. This person has been an observer not just in your psychic sphere or when they want to dabble in and out, but they've been an observer for even the people around you, especially somebody either close to you as a family or somebody close to you as an ex or someone that was intimately close to you. And this is a person who almost got initiated or tapped. This energy, this brotherly figure, was almost initiated or tapped by watching somebody else's collapse. So take this how it resonates, because this is a specific side note here that I wrote down. Whoever this person's collapse, whether this be the person that is blaming you for having opened up a portal through your intimacy that now they feel like they can't step out of because they can't love themselves enough to understand they have to get rid of these toxic traits, that you were only actually doing that because A, you may have been misguided, or B, you believed in the power of love to overcome judgment, self-judgment. But they didn't see it that way. They thought it was allowance. They thought they were being permitted to continue being a manipulative bastard, male or female. So what this person is seeing is this person's collapse. And they're trying to understand or see you from a perspective of not someone who's damaging people on purpose, but a perspective of someone who brings a lot of clarity into their interactions. And that sometimes that clarity can be damaging. And whether they like it or not, they've been benefiting from that clarity, and they can't go on anymore. That's the thing. There's judgment here because they can't go on the way that they've been going on. They know that they're merely pretending and faking their disassociation from you. I'm not Light Shield Tarot. They have to face you. Whoever this is, they have to face you, not just in the psychic sphere where they're appearing shrouded in different symbolic characters in your life, but for real, they have to face the weight that you carry and understand that you are to be separated from the impact that you have on people, that it is up to the person, not what you're doing per se, but it is up to the person and how they choose to react to you. That is what this person is learning. And for some of you, this is a divine counterpart. This is a divine counterpart who could be a woman or a man, it doesn't matter, but it is a divine counterpart who's being asked to act. They're being asked to act from a place of truth and not from a place of ego, the way that they've been moving. I hope this resonated. As usual, I don't reach out. Those are scammers. Everything you need to know is in the description box down below. My book, Sad Girl, is description box down below. My shop as well, the Seers Journal, is in the bottom. Excuse this like little tag here. I'm going to try to put it somewhere convenient, but I just don't want someone taking my face and my image without attributing any credit whatsoever while pretending to be me, and on top of that, selling products to the people who believe they're talking to me, when in reality, I'm not that person. I'm not Light Shield Tarot. They go by Ansan something. I have reported their account, but I'm still going through the process of what that looks like. I'm obviously going to be trademarking all of this, so I don't know. This person watches, so you're going to be sued if you take any content from here on out. I hope you understand that. And you're going to be sued for real. There's got to be some respect, some dignity behind this, because you can't just take what somebody pours out day and night, their spirit, their energy, their mind, the pain, the agony that they've gone through, just so that you can what? Pretend to be them? Why can't you just be yourself? That is, honestly, there's no honor in that. That's disturbing. And if you think for a second that you're actually giving credit, you're not. You're lying. You're lying to yourself, and you're lying to the audience that believes they're actually talking to me when they're not. Yeah. For those of you who cares about this integrity, the integrity of this channel, go there. Go to TikTok and put some sense into this person. Put some sense into this person, because I am not them, and they need to stop pretending to be me. Waiting for me to wake up in the morning to work my work so that you can post as me is actually diabolical. May Spirit deliver justice swiftly. You've officially been uncovered. And the fact that you're using spiritual content is actually sickening. It's sickening. You are the very person I speak about. You are the very person I speak about. It's a white woman impersonating a black woman. If that means anything at all. Because that's been a thing on TikTok. That's been a thing. Recently, her content was lifted verbatim by a white woman, a trans black woman. Her content was lifted verbatim by a white woman. And what did TikTok do? They removed the original content creator's content, and then they reinstated it and removed the fake one. Only because people fought back. So fight. Fight for me. I'm fighting for you. I really am. I'm fighting for us and the truth. Until next time, everyone. Ciao.